so we can see how it looks like. Oh my goodness, Prince, this burns. Still so hot. Hello family, welcome. You want to make your Sunday special? Then let's roast some tilapia. So this tilapia was already washed in the store, but I want to wash it again. So I already rinsed it first with regular water, and then I put water in the sink, added salt, lemon and vinegar. So I'm going to steep this fish in here for 30 minutes and then I'll rinse it out. All this you're seeing on the water is just from the lemon, so it doesn't hurt the fish or anything. So look at the fish, it's really washed, but still we have to steep it in this water to really get rid of all the slimy or things on the fish and any hidden dirt anywhere, and to kill all the germs. That's why we added vinegar and all that. We really want the fish to be clean. We are going to be preparing the marinade. So it's a very simple marinade because we still have another marinade we are going to be rubbing the fish before baking. So this one is just very simple but very important. So we are going to add a teaspoon of onion powder, a teaspoon of garlic powder, a teaspoon of salt, and a teaspoon of white pepper. And after that you want to add your seasoning cubes. I'll be adding 3 seasoning cubes, like 3 seasoning cubes. I like when roasting my fish, I don't want to put, I rather go for maggi cube than salt, because when you put too much salt it takes away the sweetness from the fish. So you just want to use okay salt, like the salt that is just okay for it. I'm going to set this aside while our fish is getting ready. The fish is ready, like it's been over 30 minutes in this water. I'm just going to wash it and remove it. So this is how I always wash it. Like I still use the lemon. It's not necessary, it's just my own preference though. I still use the lemon chips to scrub the fish, like really scrub them. It's just my own way of doing it. It's not like you have to do what I'm doing, but you can still do what I'm doing. That's okay with you. Then you rinse again with running water. I have my paper towel laid outside, like right there. So I wash my fish and place it on top because I'm going to be drying out the fish. Okay, so we are done washing the fish. Now I'm going to be drying out the fish. I'm going to put another paper towel like on top just for dry. This one is going to save me time, like doing one after the other, but I'm still going to do that. But first I start by drying all at once with a very long paper towel, and then I use the same paper towel to dry properly, even inside the fish. Like you can see me drying like inside the fish. Yeah, the surface is really clean. So after drying your fish, you want to go in and create the skirts. I like to make mine slanting, not just straight like that. You don't want to cut till you touch the bone, like no, it's not good to do that. Just slightly open the fish. This is to make sure that the fish is well marinated right deep inside. So you see that? You want to create all these openings in the fish so that when you marinate your fish, it's going to really get deep. After drying and cutting our fish, now we are going to be applying the first marinade to the fish. I call it the first marinade. I call it the first marinade because we are going to be marinating it again before baking. So my hands are clean, so I'm going to use my hands because I really want to go deep, and I want to make sure the holes are opening. And I'll just sprinkle this, the marinade we prepared earlier. This is what I'm rubbing the fish with. First I sprinkle, and then I use my hands to rub. You want to be careful so you don't hurt your hand on the bones and things of the fish. And then I see sprinkle some inside, not too much. So I set this aside and go with the next in the same bowl. Cover this with aluminum foil or plastic wrap and set in the fridge for 30 minutes. For 30 minutes to an hour if you have the time. So we are going to prepare the second marinade and wait for the first marinade to be done before we actually apply this one, and let it marinate for another 30 minutes. So we are going to be cooking this for 10 to 15 minutes on low to medium. Okay family, so to know that your marinade is ready, I don't know if you can see, but you see oil coming on top of the marinade. Like you can actually see the oil. Let me go close. Like that, you see the oil. That's to tell you it's ready. So we ended up boiling it for 20 minutes since we are boiling on low to medium. So we ended up boiling for 20 minutes. So this ended up marinating for an hour. I decided to just let it marinate for an hour. I'm going to apply the pepper marinade and let it sit again in the refrigerator for another 30 minutes before I can bake. You can as well just marinate it with a pepper marinade and just bake it right away, but I don't want that. I want it to sit and relax on the fish for like 30 minutes before I bake it. So I'm gonna apply my gloves because I really want to rub it nicely. If you like, you can, if you want, you can use a brush, but for me, I am going to be using this hands that God blessed me with to really marinate my fish. And maybe later when I'm baking, I can always use the brush to just rub. So this is the marinade, the cooked one. I don't have too much oil in the marinade because I'm going to be using my cooking spray before putting the fish in the refrigerator, in the oven. So I'm going to rub really nicely, still making sure you have the marinade in the openings you created on the fish, inside the fish, and you really want to rub it very nicely. You want every part of this fish to be well seasoned. That's why I'm using my hands to rub it, so I do a good job. Okay, family, so it's been 30 minutes. We are going to transfer our fish to the baking pan, and I went ahead to layer my baking pan with a baking sheet, and then I sprayed some cooking spray. I did spray it with a cooking spray. So we transfer the fish and wait for the oven to be preheated at the 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Oven is preheated, it's ready. We are going to be baking this for 25 minutes on each side. So we've been baking this for 30 minutes because this fish is really big. We've been baking it for 30 minutes. You can see I'm going to take it out, flip it, and bake it for another 30 minutes. So it's been another 30 minutes of baking our fish. Now I am going to be broiling it for just 3 minutes to just get it to golden brown, just a little brown, so we can see how it looks like. Oh my goodness. Burns. This burns. Still so hot. Every part of this fish is so seasoned. So thank you so much for stopping by. Please do subscribe if you haven't. And if you did try my recipe, let me know let me get your feedback in the comment section. Tell me if you did like it, because I made this someday once and it was so good, and I thought it wise to share it with you today. See, this fish is so good. I can't keep my hands off of it. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.